Okay, hello mortals. I'm the Booktube Goddess, the #1 drag queen booktuber on YouTube. And this is a Get Ready With Me where I get into drag to film videos later today. And I don't know if anyone's here. If you are, please say hello. Otherwise, I have been a little bit rushing and I can't find some of my brushes, which is really annoying me. But we're just going to get started anyway and see where this goes. Hey, Lynette, thank you for being here. Wilma Fingerdew is here. Yay. And Cappuccino. So Wilma, if you don't know, does the RuPaul recaps. And I can't believe there's like an all-stars going on soon, I guess, because I'm just getting, there's just too much Drag Race now. And I never thought I would say that. But it seems like it's nonstop. But I am excited to see this season. What are we on, 14? So I'm just cleaning up my eyebrows. Little clown white. I think I'm the only one that uses clown white these days. Britta is here. Hey, Britta. There is this show on WoW Presents called Raven's Makeup Race or whatever it's called, which is a competition show for makeup artists. I really like how they did the scoring system, because rather than eliminating people like they do in most of these competition shows, you stay in the entire show and you win points. And if you like come in last, you skip the next episode, but then you come back following it. I just really liked that. It felt more fair, and it felt like, and you could get used to seeing some of the contestants rather than seeing your favorite suddenly disappear. I don't know if that would work for Drag Race, but it would certainly work for other competition shows. I think the problem with that is you can't really have that many contestants. You can't like have 14 contestants, but it works for like, I don't know, 6 to 8 contestants. Okay, let's catch up. Oh, you use Clown White Wilma, good. But you've recently discovered Roots Cosmetics. Really? Well, I mean, I just use the Mayron, which is, I mean, one tube of this lasted me for like 2 years, or one, not tube, but pan. Oh, fit to be read. I just Googled what does Raven wear, and I painted with Raven. I like the guy who won. Um, But yeah, well, a lot of their makeup looks weren't real makeup. I mean, they were real makeup looks, but they were like face paint or special effects makeup, which is, if you're like looking for beauty makeup, it's really different. I still love Elena Glam, who Wilma does some collabs with. I tried to redo one of her looks. Didn't work out very well, but I wonder if she would come on my channel just to give me some pointers. See the right. Because I know I do things. Not that there's a right and wrong way, but usually I prime my lids before the video starts, or this live stream starts, but I was running late. Oh, to let you guys know, we haven't officially closed, but we're getting really close to closing on a house. I'm buying a house here in Las Vegas. So we'll be homeowners again. Getting a little nervous about, because we want to do some minor or maybe not so minor renovations before moving in. I'm just setting this with a little powder. So big purchases like that, I mean, it's probably the biggest purchase you'll ever make in your life. It's always a little stressful. Okay. Oh, Raven from Snow Crash. Okay. Late as the tits. Yes, she is. A good Greg Egan book. I haven't read that much Greg Egan. Have I read any Greg Egan? I know I have. The only thing I'm thinking of is a book with the word blood in it, but maybe I'm like totally off. Oh, I should ask Elena. Thank you, Britta. Okay, so I was going to do I was going to do blue today because I've been doing like a lot of reds and stuff. So I'm going to start, and I got this from Elena Glam. I saw her do this in one of her videos. So I've done it the last couple weeks, and I like sort of the simplicity of, not simplicity, but I like the result, and that's starting with black in the corners. And I guess it's for Wilma. Yeah, I finally got this Sugarpill palette. So I got the like 6 basic colors. The black and the white is mostly what I got it for, but I got brown, which could also be contour, and then some basic pigments. But mostly I got it just for the black and the white. Because I also have this, what's it called? Blow and Smoke. Which isn't as good of a black as the Sugarpill black. But anyway, so I'm going to start with just doing the corners. My problem is I always cut the crease too low, but then I've tried before of like going really high. So I'm trying to find this happy medium. Maybe like that. Then it's so hard if your eyes aren't the same shape. You probably can't tell on camera, but this eye sags a lot more than this eye. Okay, so these don't look even. Okay, it's even enough. How are we doing here, people? Quarantine and Permutation City for Egan. Yes, it's a blue day. Oh, hey, Umit. Welcome back from Turkey. The good news is that it looks like we're close to closing on a house where I live here in Vegas. So I'll be a homeowner again. Do I have that book? Why does that sound so familiar? No, I'm thinking of a different book. I love the title, just based on the title. Yep. Oh, Le Guin again. Malafrina. Yeah, I haven't heard of that one. Boy, it's a grandfather's bookstore that follows a talking cat and ends up in another world where they have to save books from terrible fates. I love that. Is that a middle grade? It sounds like a middle grade. Thank you, Emmett. Oh, Little Prince gets a mention. Still reading what I have been reading the last couple of weeks. Still hating Rochester. Truth of the Divine is intense for a mental health depiction and discussion. Ooh, that sounds pretty heavy. I have finished Jade City and I loved it. It's like the exact type of fantasy that I really love. It's great characters, fast paced. Very, very pleased with it. And I'm just started the sequel, Jade War. Okay, so I want a really dark blue. And so far, so good. It's really interesting because the main character is really the clan, the No Peak clan, which is I won't spoil anything. And thank you for not spoiling anything last week when I was talking about it. But I'll just say the author is not afraid to change things up. I don't know why, but her writing, Fondulise, the author, the writing is kind of reminding me of the Gunpowder Mage or the Powder Mage series. I don't know why. I'm not sure if it's just on a prose level or in on a plot level. Okay, so this is what I mean about cutting it high. And I see why everyone's saying it's like a mafia, fantasy mafia level. I mean, story, the Jade City, Jade Legacy. I'm not even sure what the series is titled. Is it just called the Jade Trilogy? But the big difference between the mafia and the clans in the Jade series is the mafia is a criminal organization, and the clans are not. They're like part of the society. So unlike say The Godfather or I don't know. What are some other fantasies with criminals? Gentlemen Bastards and Six of Crows. It does give a little different type of story when they're actually against the law, when they're actual criminals. Okay, let's see if I can possibly. I hate that there's no mirror on this because I was trying to use it as a mirror. But I am sure that's all I'm going to be doing this month is reading these Jade books. Okay, so now I want a different shade of blue. Oops. Let's go. Or should I just do some like really contrasting color? I don't know. Okay, I'm missing out on a lot of conversation here. Let me just go through it quick. Lori is here. Yay. Oh, it's an adult book. And they mentioned Proust. Hey, Umit. Oh, I've heard so much about Mexican Gothic. And yeah, I want to read that one too. Actually, I've heard a little bit of mixed stuff. I know one or two people didn't like it, but most people do. Oh yes, get your groceries, Lori. I really liked Jade City. Gave it 5 stars. Time zones are so confusing. Ooh, jumbo shrimp. I've gotten right off ColourPop these days. They're okay for their price point, but their customer service sucks. I don't mind waiting for products if they're good. Oh, that's interesting to know. I have no experience with their customer service other than just being pissed off because that bullet point black, which is the whole reason why I got it, was always out of stock for like a year. Oh, groceries online. I've done that before. Yeah. Customer service does make a big reason. Oh, you're reading Ancillary Justice, one of my favorites. I hope you like that one. I like the the 3 core books in that series, and then she wrote another book. I guess that's like a standalone in the same universe. Wasn't that impressed by it, but the original Lecky books are really good, and I used to like Simek a lot. I haven't read him in decades, but I am curious what you're going to say about him because I'm wondering because so many of those writers from the 60s, 70s are dated, and yeah, you just don't know until someone rereads it and reminds you. Um, Britta liked Ancillary Justice. Cities on your TBR list. Oh, it's Michael Vaughn's favorite sci-fi novel. I'm trying to remember some of the Simak novels I've read. I may have read this. I'll need to see the synopsis. There was this weird one called Planet Shakespeare, which is like this conversation between. It's almost like a philosophical conversation amongst the main characters. Yeah, you like blue. The dialogue in, if we're talking about ancillary justice, does take time to get through. It took me until for me, the book, I'm getting confused as which is the first book. If that's the first book, it took me like the first half of the book to really get into the story. Then it picked up in the second half, but it wasn't until the second book that it really started clicking for me. Oh yes, The Little Prince and The Cat Who Saved Book, as well as Proust. So yeah, because I saw the comment where it's probably not it's an adult book, not a middle grade. Yeah, I'll probably make well, I don't know until I finish the entire trilogy, but if the books continue in the vein that they started in, and I expect the second book, I'm on the second book now, I expect that to lag a little bit because second books always do that. But yeah, I think I would like to do a video on the entire trilogy. Oops, someone moved your book. Okay, so I have a feeling this blue. I don't have that many blues. I have a feeling this blue that I'm looking at is going to kind of match. Yeah, it looks like the same color. Hmm. Gosh, it looks so different on camera. What I was doing is I was combining these two blues to try to get a lighter shade. Oh, I'm sorry. This isn't ColourPop. This is Sugarpill. Wilma, I've been saying the wrong thing. It's Sugarpill, not ColourPop. Okay, and then I guess I'll just use the light blue to see. I feel like there's a lot of white up here. That's the thing about the white, is you see a lot of white on camera, but you don't see it in person. So, well, let me just try this light blue and see what happens. Yeah, you don't really even see it on the white. I mean, you do. Oh boy. I have so many. Oh, thank you, Brett. I love the blue theme. I've had a couple books that have disappeared. My books. Oh, that was fast, Lori. Or maybe I'm just slow. Oh, the blowing smoke is ColourPop. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. I may have gotten the blowing smoke palette because of you, Wilma. Maybe. Is that when books go missing? Yeah. I have so many. Well, as you know, most of my books are in boxes in my garage right now. Buried Your Heart, My Heart and Wounded Knee. The Sound of a Wild Snail Eating. That's another title I really love. Okay, I'm not sure what to do with all this white space. So I have this other, what's this? This Pinky Rose Cosmetics. I have this blue here that may be a different shade than the others. So let me see. I think this will be fine. Oh, but talking about Jade City, yeah, I'd probably just do a review of the entire trilogy, like I did with Poppy Wars. rather than a review for each book, because I don't know anyone that would actually read the review of like the second and third book. I guess if you just happen to have just read the first book and are looking for the a review on the second book. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I really need to put on some black. And I think I'm just going to leave my crease cut with white. Or should I do a different color? I'm just going to use some black just to try to give this some dimension. One thing that I haven't done that I've seen drag queens do, or and Elena Glam do, is cleaning up the white or your cut crease with like the micellar water or makeup remover, which makes a lot of sense, but it just seems like a lot of work. Okay, now I'm going to go back to this dark blue to allegedly blend these together. I was really like turning and turning away from you guys, not on purpose. See, again, I can see a big difference in the mirror, but I don't know. You tell me, does it just look like a blue bulb? One blue shade in the camera angle? Actually, I think that looks pretty good. Just wish. It's one of those things where you could futz with it forever, and okay. It's not the best black on the market, but their Barbie palette is fun. Like that Barbie palette. Wild Snail is a true story about a woman who was paralyzed in bed and often only had the snail in a terrarium as company. Wow. With the deckled edges, which are those pages different lengths. Deckled. I used a charcoal shade in that palette on my brows for a while. The Blow and Smoke. Oops. Oh my God. You wouldn't believe this. I just grabbed this Blow and Smoke and a couple of the palettes or the pans came out. Hold on. Let's see if I broke any. Don't think so. Okay, I don't know if I put them back in the right place. Oh, but there's no charcoal in this one. Currently reading Never Home Alone. Little BC. Oh, are you talking like bed bugs, that type of beastie? Yeah, me too. Okay, good. If you can see the ombre on screen. I have no opinion on deckled edges. Like I said, I read mostly ebooks now, so it seems like older books had deckled edges more. It isn't quite as bad as The Life That Lives on Hub. What about bacteria, microorganisms? Yeah. See, I don't have any idea or any desire to read about all the microbes that live on my. Yeah, you saw it live. My ColourPop palette just sort of popped apart. Yeah, some of these places release so many palettes, 2 a week. Okay, so I guess I'm just going to cut this crease with my old Clown White. And I had this white brush that I always use for cutting my crease, and it's just disappeared. I don't get it. So I guess I'll just use this. Oh yeah, the reason why taking some type of makeup remover to clean up the cut crease before you put your primer on it, because if you don't, sometimes it just gets so cakey, especially on the creasy old skin that I have. Oh, I don't know if we mentioned, but this new season of Drag Race has the first, well, not the first for Drag Race, heterosexual drag queen. Which is kind of interesting. The interesting, or the more significant thing I think he said was in the Untucked, which is their backstage discussion, where he goes, well, you know what? Straight people doing drag isn't for, not all straight people should do it. Because you are becoming part of a community, the LGBT queer community. And if you don't have the respect and understanding of that, then you probably shouldn't be doing drag, which I really appreciated. Okay, so crease is cut. So the question is, do I just go white or do I go with the color? And I guess I could go with purple, blue and purple, or pink. blue and pink, or silver. Maybe I'll do silver. Have a shelf just for your favorite books. Wait until you are my age, Fit. I need the ebook to. Me too. Me too. That was like my biggest, because I resisted ebooks for so long because I was like this book snob. Well, I have to read real books. But then finally, my husband got me an ebook reader. So I started getting a few ebooks, but the enlarging the font, reading it at night makes it so much easier because you don't need like a night light or a special light for that. And there's other things too. If you have it connected to the Wi-Fi, if you want to like look up a word or translate words, I'm sold on ebooks now, but just saying it took me a while. Yeah, eyesight and audiobooks because, I have trouble holding books. How do you feel about general pop culture talking so much language and references from drag culture in recent years? Is there a problem with appropriation? I wish I could have talked my uncle into ebooks when he was going blind. Ooh. It's an interesting question because I know that comes up a lot on what's the African American language? I forgot those initials, but I know Ashley of the Bookish Realm talks about that a lot, about how the mainstream absorbs or appropriates language that may have started in some other subculture. For me personally, I don't find it offensive. I do get concerned. I don't know if concerned is the right word, but I do hope that people understand where some of these words and phrases come from. Because it's weird. It used to sort of be a secret language, and gays have had secret languages in different cultures all the time. Look up Polari in Britain. In the Philippines, there's a whole dialect just used by gay men. And pre-social media, it seemed to talking with among other gay men, like say pre-90s or 80s, there did seem to be more of a closeness of culture that gets diluted when certain phrases and speaking get diluted throughout the pop culture. But I don't think there's any going back for that. I think that because of the technology in the world we live in, that there's no getting around it, because I think back when we're talking about Drag Race, if you know a lot of drag queens and trans people, there's a lot of crossover for trans women and drag queens. Like people starting in drag and finding out that they're trans while doing drag, and are exploring their feminine side while doing drag, and then realizing that they are trans, stories like that. But the drag culture itself is very self-deprecating, the humor and the jokes. And so I think when RuPaul's Drag Race first started, for me, it was only on Logo, which was a gay network. and it was really only watched, at least the first couple seasons were only watched by sort of the LGBT community. So a lot of the jokes and phrasings were kind of in jokes, or I kind of felt maybe they were offensive even at that time, but for me it felt like in jokes among the community. That when it started uh, expanding out to, what was it first? VH1? Was that the first? Anyway, as it expanded into the larger culture, it started getting blowback because, well, some of these words are offensive. And if you don't recognize that where it came from, I can understand why it does sound offensive. Like in the 90s, and the trans community is not monolithic. Because I know the word uh, TRANNY is pretty much considered offensive now, but in the 90s there was a club in San Francisco called the Trenny Shack, which I used to go to all the time. And they'd have drag shows and comedy shows, and I know there were a lot of trans people defending the word, and but they were kind of drowned out by sort of the larger community. But I'm not sure where I'm going with this, but there's just two sides to everything. And I think because of social media and technology, that it's just inevitable that we're going to lose a lot of the sort of secret or private spaces in certain subcultures just because nothing is private anymore. I think that's the bottom line. Nothing's private anymore. Nothing's secret anymore, uh, and it's just something we have to get used to. Okie dokie. Whittle Peewoo. What? My uncle was almost blind. Had a fall. Oh, thank you. That was just me babbling. Okay, so I'm thinking silver because I know in this blow and smoke there's this bright silver. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go with a really, really dark blue just to sort of as a transition and see what it looks like against this black. And this is the blue I'm talking about, sort of bright. Oh boy, it's almost a purpley indigo blue. Shoot, I don't even know if you can see it on camera. I guess you can. Okay, so with this blue, yeah, I'm just going to fade it with the white. Let's keep it simple. Maybe I'll just do like a white shimmer topper on this. Okie dokie. I feel like we used to do everything in secret and private because we had to. Now with more progressive society, feels like those spaces and cultures are diluted. Yeah, I mean, it's probably, there were a lot of studies about alcoholism amongst gay men, and I don't know if it was the same for gay women, but a lot of that I thought was the hangout spots used to be bars. Oh, Whittle Pillow. Oh yeah, Whittle Pillow. Yeah. Well, it's not for everyone. Not every show is for everybody. Watching BookTube. You did enjoy Drag Race. I'm sad that my mom can't read anymore. She was the one that read to and with all of my childhood and taught me to. That's really, ooh, dementia. That's a hard one. Yeah, sorry to hear that. Um, Let me look. See if I want to try glitter topper. If I have anything. Okay, I think I'm going to try just a little bit of this silvery glitter. But I will need some glitter glue. I've seen people put glitter on with a brush, and that's what I want to try to do. I should have done this before I brushed off my bake. Oh well. Can you see it? That's the other thing. Sometimes I do these things and then I can't see it on camera. What did I just do? Okay, so there's the glitter, which is everywhere now. Okay, so we need to move on to black eyeliner. How long have I been here? Okay, it's only been an hour. We can get this done. I have to say, I do like this mirror on the ColourPop. Not that that's reason to get it. Okay. And see, this was one of the things that I do. So I spent all that time putting that blue down here, and now I'm just going to cover it with black. But okay. It's fine. It's fine. There's a series by Sarah Atwell. I don't know that. Yeah, you know what? There's no little libraries here in Vegas that I could find. Me too. But I'm wondering, since this is Las Vegas, is the reason why there's no little libraries is because people don't really walk around because it can get so hot here. Like no one is going to be walking around looking at little libraries in neighborhoods when it's like 110 degrees out. And it does get chilly during the winter time. So it could just be the climate. Plays a factor on whether or not to have little libraries. Okay, so that's pretty much the final look. I think I better set this black with black. I really need to get more organized with my brushes. Okay. And I know I'm just like doing these little details that probably no one really sees. Oh, the one thing in this new house, if we do get it, is I'm trying to have like a really large office, so I won't be so cramped anymore, which will make doing these videos so much easier. Oh, it's a funny thing. I don't know if you've seen my video. I know some of you have on David Eddings. And that video kind of is doing okay. I was wondering if YouTube was going to suppress it a little bit because it deals with child abuse. But now I'm wondering, maybe I should just do a series on other authors that may be problematic. But the only ones I could think of is Marion Zimmer Bradley, and that would be a tough one. That's like a tough one to talk around without triggering myself. But I think that would be really interesting to do Marion Zimmer Bradley. But I'm not sure there's really a whole lot of other authors, especially in the fantasy sci-fi realm. Trying to put this blue back a little bit. Yeah, I guess I could do H.P. Lovecraft again. James Tiptree. Because Lynette, you're the one that read the biography on James Tiptree Jr. Tiptree. I think it'd be interesting to do a article, well, I guess it's an article, but a story on Harlan Ellison, because he's such a complicated guy. He didn't do anything as on the same planet as the Eddings or Marion Zimmer Bradley, but a lot of people do consider him problematic, and he kind of reveled in it. He was also very litigious. Okay, so this is it for the eyes. And I think I'm just going to move on to the lips. And then I'll put the lashes on after that. Actually, whoop. I think I'm going to put this white gel liner on just to Yeah, I'll decide I really don't like bottom lashes. And of course, so lips. Moving on to lips. Don't want that. Oops. I feel like such a disaster sometimes. That's the other thing. If I had more space, I could be more organized. Famous last words. You know what I've been obsessed with? Is I watched the Amazon movie about Being the Ricardos about Lucille Ball. And I've just been like talking about YouTube, uh, watching a lot of videos on Lucille Ball. And as sexist as the I Love Lucy show is, I still think it's hilarious. I made these lips a little big. Let's see how that goes. Okay, let me catch up. If you did living authors, you could do Orson Scott Card. Yeah, I know. Yeah, some of the fandoms are scary. But I have such a small channel. Being the recorder sounds good. I want to watch it. Oh, well, the thing about, let me see, James Tiptree with problematic. Both. I think the only thing problematic, I'm doing quotes, is because she killed her husband and herself. It was like, I think that's the big event at the end of her life. But definitely how she was treated is a whole part of the story. Yeah, Javier Bardem. He had it. Never seen his earlier work. But the interesting thing about Lucy is how, and it's not on just this movie, but in a lot of like the behind the scenes types of shows or documentaries or interviews, is how much of a different person she was off screen, which isn't a surprise because of how wacky the character is. But I mean, like really a serious woman who wasn't very funny on her own, business oriented, like tough as nails. There's a YouTube clip from Lucy Arnaz Jr., Lucy and Desi's daughter, who saw Being the Ricardos, and said Nicole Kidman and Javier Bardem really captured the essence of her parents' personalities. Why did I make these lips so big? Jeez Louise. So does it look crazy? I put a little bit of white on. That kind of felt funny. Did I just use gloss again? I always do this. That's not the first time I've like put gloss on thinking it was lipstick. Okay. I'm taking this off. It's like, why does this feel so greasy? It's like colored or tinted gloss. Okay, let me just put on some good old dark red. Is this purple? What am I doing? think it's like wine colored. I have a lot of these lipsticks from Gerard Cosmetics because they're always having this sale. And normally their lipsticks are like $20 each, but then sometimes they'll have like, oh, $5 for one, or buy four for $20. And I always get sucked into those deals. It's like, oh, that's a great deal. I have to get it now. So how does this look? Oh man, this lipstick does not go with these eyes, do they? Oh, I feel so silly. I really want to change to pink lipstick. So, getting a treat. Changing the lipstick how many times? How much you want to make a bet tomorrow my lips are going to be super stained when I take off this makeup? That's all over my teeth. Okay. Yeah, I use so much dark lipstick under this. I don't know, can you layer up lipstick or will it just become a big blob? that look any better? Okay, well, I don't want to be here forever. I think I'm just going to throw on a wig. Oh my gosh. I'll have to relook at these lips later. I just may like take off this part of my face and redo it. Okay, for wigs, well, actually I had these matching earrings for this necklace. But I thought I'd put on the big white afro wig. It's not really an afro. It's supposed to be, let me make sure my hands are clean. It's supposed to be modeled after Dolly Parton in 9 to 5. I'm not sure if it exactly works that way. But I do think it's a funny wig. I don't know why. It just makes me laugh. It's just so huge. Oh. Some gloves. I really need to hairspray it a little bit because it's getting a little. Why does the screen look so dark? Bring the light up. Okay, this must be my camera. Yeah, I'm sorry it's so dark, but anyway, this is the final look. Maybe I'll just get closer. This is the final look. I don't think the lips are quite right. But I'm thinking of like that bright pink lip. Anyway, so let me catch up. Oh, for the James Tiptree, yeah. They had like a death pact. Or denim is, yeah, this isn't a funny show. Being the Ricardos is not a, isn't about how funny the I Love Lucy show was. It's pretty serious and covers a lot of Like Desi Arnaz was apparently a big philanderer, and Lucy apparently had like a huge temper. The bio treats it as a suicide pact rather than as a murder-suicide. Right, talking about James Tiptree. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Cap. Oh, gosh. I knew it. You guys saved me. I forgot the freaking eyelashes. Oh, my God. Here we go. Eyelash time. Oh, where would I be without you? Okay. Well, I think even with, I don't understand why this camera is so dark. Hold on, let me see. Okay. I think I just got so freaked out over these the lip color that I just totally forgot about the eyelashes. Okay. But when I put them on, you'll understand why I keep saying that I don't cut my crease high enough, because a lot of times these eyelashes will just cover the entire crease. You can't even see any of this work that I've done here. Transfer some of the glue. That's the other thing. If I have a bigger room, I might be able to do more with lighting. It's so fascinating watching glue dry. Yeah. I still think these lips are too big, and they're funny shaped on this side. You guys are so funny. Yeah, even if it was a pack, the murder suicide thing, I still think some people call it problematic, because I even changed the James Tiptree Award for unusual voices to something else, because I guess they didn't want to be associated with Tiptree, or they didn't want to make any individual an icon, which kind of is understandable. because there's still a blowback from the Joseph Campbell Award. The name of the award. Okay, hopefully. Okay. So this is the look with eyelashes. And you can see that since they come up so high, you don't see a lot of the cut crease, unless I like lower my eyes, which I guess is fine. Oh, let me put these gloves back on. Okay, so that this took way too long. I spent way too long on the lips and the eyelashes. But I am going to be doing some filming today. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to film, but I have a few ideas. So thank you all for coming. Thank you, Lynette. See it when you blink or flutter. Yeah, that's true. Or look down. It's just I know a lot of drag queens, they draw them like really high up so you could like always see them. And I've done that before, but I've done it too much. There has to be like a happy medium. I'll work on it next week. Thank you, Britta. Okay, guys, I got to go. Thank you for coming as per usual. Hopefully we'll be here next week. And until we meet again, may all the books you read be blessed.